Hi, I'm Alice Dreger. I'm the executive director and publisher of East Lansing Info, our local nonprofit news organization dedicated to the people of East Lansing. I look kind of like this, although when I'm dealing with answering East Lansing's news needs in a university dependent economy during a pandemic with a shutdown, I do sometimes look like this. I'm talking to you today because Eli is about to enter a very critical part of our yearly cycle of bringing East Lansing the news. This video is aimed specifically at people who may be able to afford to help our efforts by being core donors to Eli. These are people able to commit to making a pledge of $250 or more during the giving period that will run from November through December of this year. I'm going to tell you about how your financial commitment to Eli during this specific period can guarantee we can draw extra support from other donors, guaranteeing we can be here throughout 2021 to bring East Lansing the news. You may already know that at Eli, our mission is to bring East Lansing the news, factual, relevant, nonprofit. Eli promotes informed citizenry, and we promote this community. Here's a screenshot of our local news site right now. Eli uses an innovative model that is specifically featured in a new book by Margaret Sullivan, lead media critic at the Washington Post. We use a news brigade model, tapping local citizens who care about the mission of bringing factual news to bring that news, holding each other to high standards as we do this work. Margaret Sullivan's new book is called Ghosting the News, Local Journalism and the Crisis of American Democracy. As you may know from work like hers, all over the country, local news organizations are failing. What's particularly scary is that some are being replaced by partisan news organizations that look like real news, but they aren't. They look like independent news, but they're really media arms of a political party or another specific political interest. But we're succeeding at bringing real nonpartisan news to East Lansing. That's why Sullivan writes about us in her book. Eli keeps expenses low. We have no newsroom office, which means we pay no rent or utilities. We don't engage in printing the news, we offer it online. Most of the folks who work for us do so part-time, and some of us volunteer our service. We work on saving every dollar. We squeeze every dollar. About 85% of our expenses every month go to pay local people to bring you the news. Here are examples of some of those people. Gary Caldwell, who does photography and videography for us. Emily Joan Elliott, who just became our managing editor. Andrew Graham, who is our city desk editor and also our podcast producer. Our summer youth journalism program graduates, who do reporting for us as cub reporters. Morgan Holmes, our website tech manager. And Jody Spicer, our general manager. We love working together for you to bring East Lansing the news. So let me get to the point. At the end of every year, we do a sustainability campaign. The goal is to raise enough money to get Eli through the next year. We have achieved this for the last 3 years in a row because of help from our readers. Using this approach frees us up from having to stop and do fundraising in the next year. It also allows me, as the CEO of this nonprofit corporation, the ability to budget, to know what I can say yes to in terms of reporting. That provides certainty to the team, including reporters and other staff who count on Jody and me to get them a paycheck at the end of the month. Because we're a member of the Institute for Nonprofit News, we get to participate in a national program called Newsmatch. This program, which runs from November through December, provides funding through big philanthropic groups like the Knight Foundation and the MacArthur Foundation. Specifically, it provides matching dollars. During the Newsmatch period, November through December, they provide dollar-for-dollar matches up to $1,000 per donor and up to a total cap. The total cap they're providing this year was just announced. It's $11,500. That means that for every donation up to $1,000 per individual, I can get a match up to a cap of $11,500. Through that, we can raise $23,000 for Eli, and that's great, but we need to raise a lot more, closer to $200,000 during this period. So how do we do that? Well, if you can afford to help us right now, we need your help seeding Eli's funding tree. Here's how it works. At the base of our funding tree is that Newsmatch commitment. But in addition to that Newsmatch commitment, we need to line up extra funding commitment from core local donors to Eli so that we can raise our total match amount. Before November 1st, we need to line up commitments of about $25,000 from core donors. That will get us to over $35,000 with a matching fund core as we go out and seek additional local donations. We know from experience that having a solid core base brings in lots of smaller donations, including from new donors. And this is how we build up our total amount so that we end up reaching our goal. We call the people who give at this time, or commit to giving at this time, our core local donors. That's because they provide a significant commitment that allows us to know we'll have a bigger matching fund base. Our work is seeded by those core donors. They grow that healthy trunk for Eli, and from that we go out and we seek donations from people who have less to give. growing and growing that support for Eli. At Eli, we don't charge anyone for access to news and information. You will never find a paywall at Eli. That's because we believe the way our local news economy should work is like this. Those of us who can give more to support high quality local journalism should try to do so that those who can't afford to pay for news can have full access to the news and information they need just as much as you do. This year, we're especially sensitive to the fact that there are some people who can't afford to pay for access to high quality local news, but who really need the information we are bringing. Are you in a position to help? If you can commit to giving $250 or more during November and December, please email me at alice@eastlansinginfo.news with your commitment level. Just tell me how much you can commit, and know that we will leverage your commitment to grow a healthy news economy in the city. Great news, we already have 3 $1,000 commitments from core donors, and that means we've already raised our leveraging capability as we're going to go out to donors from $11,500 to $14,500. Help us out now, and we'll get that a lot higher. We'll do great work with your support by seeking people who will match your commitment and bring us to this level where we know we can be here for you throughout 2021. Thank you.